Press start.
Tonight in New York City, they will give out the Heisman Trophy, honoring the most outstanding player in college football. For the winner, tonight will give them perhaps the rarest thing in life, a chance to consider both where they've been and where they're going. The trophy will come to mean different things to different people.
I want you to know that I'm mighty, mighty happy to accept this trophy this evening. Every football player in these United States dreams about winning that trophy and of this fine trip to New York. Every player considers that trophy the acme in recognition of this kind.
When they are old men, they can look back and remember when they were the very best in the world at something. A feeling that stays bright after a trophy is dull. The soaring feeling of having sacrificed and worked and seen those things pay off, that's what it means to be alive. That's why these four young men are in New York City tonight.
In Manhattan's heart, a meeting point for humanity from every pin drop on the planet. Welcome to Times Square on the Big Apple's busiest weekend. We're at the PlayStation Theater, 44th and Broadway on Heisman Trophy night. So tonight is it Broadway Joe Burrow, hoping to end LSU's 60-year Heisman drought. Ohio State's offense and defense are represented. Justin Fields, sensational sophomore quarterback, and Chase Young, the ultra-rare lineman who is so dominant he demands Heisman attention. An Oklahoma quarterback has again earned a ticket here. Jalen Hurts has now led two schools to conference titles and playoff bids. A truly life-changing moment ahead for the winner of the 85th Heisman Trophy. Happy holidays and welcome to the Heisman Trophy ceremony presented by Nissan inside the PlayStation Theater. I'm Chris Fowler. It is our annual privilege at ESPN to present Heisman Night to you for the 26th year. Behind me, there are 24 Heisman Trophy winners. That is a terrific turnout. They will come back up here at the end of the show to welcome in the 84th member of this great club as the 85th Heisman Trophy winner. Got an incredibly compelling group of finalists. Linemen, the unsung studs of this sport. Linemen everywhere represented for just the second time in a quarter century by a finalist. Three quarterbacks represent the modern fluid movement of players, each seizing opportunities at their new schools and making the most of them. All four of these finalists will be involved in the college football playoff 2 weeks from tonight. But only one of them will get the chance to lift this trophy and join this club. Archie Griffin is here. He always has a big smile on Heisman night. Extra big smile with Buckeyes on offense and defense here, Arch.
That's right. I tell you, and it's great to see Buckeyes on both sides of the ball here. Really proud.
That's a first.
Yes, it is.
These three quarterbacks put up numbers that were just ridiculously silly. It's like a video game with the defense on rookie mode. Doug Flutie, you know quarterbacks. What do you make of these three guys' years here?
It's just amazing. And this style of offense where it's so wide open and they're so aggressive, between the three of them, 120 touchdown passes and only 14 interceptions. When you stay that aggressive, that's pretty hard to do.
Charles Woods, we got a defensive player involved. That's good news. That's rare. You've been a big fan of Chase Young. The bad news is he plays for Michigan's nemesis.
Yeah, we don't like that, but he was definitely one of the most dominant players in college football, regardless of position. And it's great to have him here and being up for the Heisman Trophy.
Absolutely. We've been celebrating the 150th season of this sport, and we're going to have a moment right here in about 50 minutes that'll add to the rich history of college football. These guys join the more than 900 Heisman voters who've selected these four finalists, so let's meet them in alphabetical order. He began in youth football as an Athens, Ohio Bulldog, now leads the top-ranked LSU Tigers, just the second Tigers finalist in the 26-year history of finalists, already a legend of the Bayou, senior Joe Burrow. He's the former Cascade Wolverine, a native of Kennesaw, Georgia, a rare Heisman finalist in his first season with his team, Ohio State sophomore Justin Fields. This man was a leader from his days with the East Houston Aggies. He played for his dad at Channelview High. He now captains the Oklahoma Sooners, senior Jalen Hurts. Our next finalist, he did it all for the Upper Marlboro Mustangs in Maryland, then found his calling as Ohio State's feared and respected pass rusher, junior Chase Young. These guys have gotten a chance to get acquainted. Guys, this is real life.
Yeah.
And these are real Heisman winners. And we've got two on our team that know exactly the excitement, the anxiety you're feeling. So let's bring out Tim Tebow and Desmond Howard, guys.
I tell you what,
you take the honors of the first question. Go ahead.
well, it was a baby when you won it, watching you. So I'm the younger one, so I'll tell you what, these guys are looking pretty sharp. What do you think about it, Des?
I think he stole Jonathan Taylor's shoes.
You can't say that's a rival. That's Wisconsin.
Not at all. I saw him at the Home Depot Awards.
Jalen, let me start with you because you are the veteran. It feels like you've played about 15 years in college because you've done everything. Last 3 years, been to 3 national championships, SEC championships, MVPs. You just won a Big 12 championship, but now you're a Heisman finalist. How does this cap off an amazing career for you?
Man, I think it's a tremendous blessing. Just being able to be here, overcome all that, and know we're still not done. I give a lot of thanks to my teammates back home, my family, everybody. It's just all a blessing.
That's good. So, Joe, check this out. So I was talking to Tim in the back, right? Now, it's reported that you said, even before the season started, that LSU's offense would score 40 to 60 points a game. What gave you the confidence to make such a bold statement before the season even started?
Yeah, I knew the work we had put in. I knew the kind of players we had and the kind of coaching staff we had. You know, no one gave us a lot of clout coming into the year, but I knew the kind of team we could be.
Let me go to the last quarterback before we get to our defensive guy. Justin, everything was new for you this year. New school, new team, new living situation, new coaches, but yet you adapted. 50 touchdowns, 1 interception. How did you learn it so fast?
I think it was really just Coach Day and the coaching staff there. They really helped me out a lot, and also my teammates. You know, just going into a new place, you really don't know what to expect. So really, just the help from those people. I think that's why I've had so much success.
Jay, check this out. Now listen, I gotta put you on the spot, right? Ask you a tough question.
For sure.
Need you to be as honest as possible.
For sure.
Have you ever seen Tim Tebow highlights?
Yes.
Okay, check this out. Let's say it's 4th and 1.
Okay.
You're on the left side.
Okay.
Now you loop around the A-gap. He drops back, and it's a quarterback draw. You about to meet him in that A-gap. Who wins that battle?
Me, for
You?
sure. Yeah.
That's all I wanted to know, bro.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Hey, I'll give that one to Chase, too. Hey, I worked out with him this year.
Yeah.
I saw why this dude's a freak, all right?
No doubt.
Left tackles are going to have a problem for a long time.
Hey, he ain't up here for nothing. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Say what? Des and Tim are so relaxed now. You guys can just laugh and enjoy the show. Fellas, do the best you can to enjoy it. It's all about you. We've enjoyed what you've done for the sport this season and the last couple of years. We'll get started here. Will Wells and the whole team winning band will add some energy and some ambience tonight inside the theater. We thank them. And as we continue from New York City, we'll begin to meet the 4 of these finalists and their coaches and their loved ones who've helped shape their journeys to New York City. Heisman Trophy night continues right after this.
Mario to 2014 Heisman Trophy winner.
This is Herschel Walker, 1982 Heisman Trophy winner.
Roger Staubach, I was a 1963 Heisman Trophy winner.
And I'm Derrick Henry, 2015 Heisman Trophy winner.
And I want to congratulate all the finalists.
Tonight is a special night because the Heisman is a special fraternity.
And tonight is a night you remember forever.
Enjoy the ceremony and go Dogs.
Go Navy, beat Army.
Roll Tide.
Go Ducks.
The 2019 Heisman Trophy ceremony is presented by Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Now, the trophy's namesake, John Heisman, said, in any fight for glory, it's the heart that tells the story. We certainly have heart in abundance here tonight. Setbacks turned into comebacks. hunger, fed by deep disappointments. That's a strong shared storyline for all 4 Heisman finalists. Jalen Hurts has certainly lived a lot. Triumph, embarrassment, frustration, loyalty, defiance, and redemption. And that was all before his rebirth this year at Oklahoma, leading the Sooners dramatically back to the playoff. When Jalen says, "I can handle anything," believe him. He does so with a soldier's stoic intensity. But it wasn't always that way.
Endearing smiles jump out from Jalen's childhood pictures. But growing up in Houston, football brought out Hurts' serious side. He played for his dad, Avrian, and also competed in powerlifting at Channelview High. At Alabama, instant success, 26 wins as a starter before being pulled from the sport's biggest stage. Hurts honed his skills quietly as a loyal backup, then delivered a comeback and conference title in his final act for the Crimson Tide. Jalen selected Oklahoma carefully, with no fear of comparison to a pair of Heisman winners, no desire to be anyone but himself. The Alpha from Alabama reshaped the Sooners' attack. Less improv, more pure intent. Not the weaving wizardry of Baker or Kyler. Jalen's style is direct, downhill, powerful, almost 500 rushing yards after contact. Never phased or flustered. Stone-faced resolve to shake off bad plays, deliver decisive ones, even in a playoff-saving comeback, OU's largest ever. Jalen grew as a pocket passer, efficient, patient, forceful throws, stretching defenses beyond their breaking point.
The combo of 3,000 passing yards, 1,000 rushing yards through 11 games is a rare feat. Johnny here did it. NFL MVP frontrunner Lamar Jackson did it in 16 and 17, and now Jalen with those 51 total touchdowns. The numbers reflect the talent, but Tom, they don't begin to define the heart and the will, and that's what we're going to remember Jalen for.
Absolutely, Chris. Jalen joined by his mom, Pamela, and his dad, Avrion. Mom, I'm going to start with you. We have seen, under the most intense scrutiny through your son's career, an incredible steadiness, not being phased, never being flustered. That's what we see. What does a mom see?
I see the same thing. I mean, as a child, he was the same way. Never would get rattled about anything. Taking on any challenge, no fear. I mean, he's really authentic. That's who he is.
Dad, your son was a supernova at the beginning of his career. He now ends his career as a Heisman finalist. But for you, what was the most important point in between?
You know, it's just his perseverance. You know, it showed that, you know, at a young age, he had a lot of things afforded to him for football, and they let him understand the things that are bigger in life. And, you know, God sent him on a journey, and then he was lucky to come out on the other side.
How do you describe that journey? Something I've asked your son many times. How do you describe it?
This is live TV, so. You know, it was tough. It's hard to see your child go through some things, but, you know, the biggest thing is that we knew that it was something he was going through and not stuck in, you know, and he believed in himself. And, you know, a lot of people, family, and he had a lot of supporters, but the biggest thing was he believed in himself, and we knew he could play. So, you know, he had the opportunity to finish where he was, and we were fortunate enough to be able to come to Oklahoma and, you know, the rebirth, I guess.
Jalen, no one's path is a straight line, but how would you describe the path to get here from what your expectations were when you first arrived in Tuscaloosa?
Yeah, you know, I learned that you can't go into things with expectations. You got to go to work. And, you know, my whole journey, it has been unprecedented. Not many people, probably nobody else will be able to say that this thing has gone like mine has. And I'm blessed for it all, and I'm fortunate for it all. And I know that's kind of what makes me me.
What do you want the lesson to be, Jalen, for others who are going to come after you and have seen your journey?
Keeping faith. Keeping faith and always going hard. Never giving up, keeping perseverance, and trusting God. At the end of the day, you got to go to work every day. You know, nobody truly cared what happened, or you know, I had to go through it. So bottom line, you just got to work hard and handle business.
Congratulations on an incredible, unprecedented path, not only for you, but for your whole family.
Thank
and
you.
Mom and Dad.
Appreciate it.
Maria?
Thanks, Tom. You know, Coach, for the third straight year, you find yourself here at this ceremony with a quarterback. And we just heard Jalen Hurts talking about his perseverance and what it took for him to get here. What did you learn about your quarterback throughout the course of this season?
Well, Jalen's right. His journey is unprecedented. And everything this year for him has been new. And it's just been awesome to see how he's handled coming into a new situation, a new team. He's obviously been a great player for us, but the leader he's been, the person he's been at our program has it's made a huge difference for our team. It's made us a better team, made me a better coach. It's been a tremendous year.
Yeah, and another tremendous night for you, Coach. Chris?
Can't wait to see Jalen's continued growth. I know Lincoln told me he thinks his best football is still ahead. That'll be fun to watch. The Heisman family tonight comes together mindful of three beloved members who are not with us. Howard Hopalong Cassidy, Joe Bellino, and Pat Sullivan, whom we lost just 2 weeks ago. Hop Cassidy did everything for Ohio State: runner, receiver, returner, star defensive back. He was a homegrown hero for the Buckeyes, part of Woody Hayes' national title team. Hop lived to the age of 85. In Navy's 1960 glory days, the smooth halfback Joe Bellino was their first Heisman winner 2 years before Roger Staubach. Both legends were saluted today with decals of the midshipman helmets in their victory against Army. Pat Sullivan was Auburn's first Heisman winner. Electrifying dual-threat quarterback set the NCAA total touchdown record. A cancer patient's program in his native Birmingham will honor Pat's courage. And folks, please join his Heisman brothers in showing love and support for these three Heisman winners no longer with us. You win the trophy, you get to be an actor. 2 weeks from tonight, the playoff semifinals, Joe Burrow and Jalen Hurts lead their teams into Atlanta. Then in Arizona, two 13-0 teams. Fields, Young, and the Buckeyes against the reigning champions from Clemson. All three on ESPN and the ESPN app. Championship game January 13th. Really an amazing December for the four finalists. He put football aside to spend Heisman Eve touring Midtown with Holly Rowe.
Okay, let's go to Times Square, stay in close formation, stick together, and follow directions. It's like a class field trip. Right up there, that's where the ball drops from. Give me one good goal for 2020.
I guess the national title game is in 2020. There's my goal.
I love it. Jalen?
Coming for it too.
You're coming for it too?
I would say my goal in 2020 is just to, become a better person.
What else do you think about Times Square? What else are you impressed with?
A lot of people here. We've attracted a crowd, paparazzi.
How weird is it that you started your career together at Ohio State? Have you sacked this man?
No, we can't hit in practice, but I'll probably touched him on the tip a couple of times.
Do you remember a time where you were terrified of this guy? Were you
Terrified? Absolutely not terrified.
So this time last year, you were preparing to play against Oklahoma. Now you're leading Oklahoma against LSU. We couldn't write this if we tried to make it up. We could not write this.
I don't think you could. It's all unprecedented, and it's my life.
How strange is that a kid from a small town in Ohio to have a billboard in Times Square?
So when I saw it on social media, I thought it was fake at first. Good things happen to good people that work hard. And I think of myself as one of those people.
Now, nothing fake. It is a rare treat to share Heisman night with a teammate, but it's historic to have one team's offense and defense here represented. Buckeyes, they've been special, though, 13 straight double-digit wins. Justin expected this. Once he got over some homesickness as a shy 19-year-old, he could see the chemistry and the hunger in his new team. But he told me he never imagined this kind of acclaim for himself, at least not this soon.
Before he was a Buckeye or a Bulldog, Justin was a born showman. Flashing moves.
Strike a pose for me. Yeah.
And striking poses. Like a lot of kids growing up in Cobb County, Georgia, Justin played baseball, but his true love was football. Blessed with a rare skill set, the nation's top-rated dual-threat quarterback had his pick of elite programs. But faced with a second season in a secondary role at Georgia, Fields carved a new path to Columbus, and with humility and hard work, this introvert earned instant stardom as a Buckeye. It shouldn't be, it can't be as easy as Justin makes it look.
Fires toward the end zone. Long touchdown from Justin Fields.
The teenage triggerman for Ohio State's cast of stars. Smooth, efficient, slinging the ball on a full sprint and on the money. Second nature from years playing shortstop. But on a gimpy knee with limited practice, Fields showed his grit in a Big Ten clinching comeback over Wisconsin. His 40 touchdown passes with just one interception on a failed trick play no less is staggering and historic.
Now, the 40-10 club is very exclusive. Justin's first season as a starter stacks up with Mariota's and Murray's Heisman years and the final college season of Patrick Mahomes. So the Buckeyes offense did its job, then turned things over to the defense and Chase Young. You know, until now, only one defensive lineman has been a finalist here in the last quarter century since Warren Sapp in '94. It was Ndamukong Suh a decade ago. But Chase Young would simply not be denied. A 2-game suspension for an NCAA violation last year did stall the momentum, but Chase roared back, contrite and inspired, continue his mission of seek and destroy.
Is it hard to tell that the smiling kid at the piano contained Predator DNA? Young was raised in Maryland, just outside D.C., in a family of athletes and law enforcers. Chase embraced a bunch of sports. The guy who now torments quarterbacks used to play that position. An All-American career at powerful DeMatha High made Chase a coveted recruit for Ohio State, where strong mentors helped him earn a Ph.D. in the art and science of pressuring passers. The most gifted, the most driven, the deepest hunger, the sharpest edge. Chase's most famous fan gives him LeBron love. Pass rush legend J.J. Watt is a fan too. Great recognizes great. Long limbs, powerful hips and core allow Chase to spring from a 4-point sprinter stance, go by blockers in a blur, attack where vulnerable, with an answer for every technique they try. His specialty, the strip sack, is the single most demoralizing play inflicted on any offense.
Chase forced 6 fumbles this year. Often the highest compliments come from those who oppose you. Michigan quarterback Shea Patterson called Chase a game changer. You've got to pay attention to him every single snap. Game wrecker could also be added. That's the ultimate label for a defender. Maria's got both these Buckeyes finalists.
Yeah, Chris, and rarely do you get teammates that get to share the stage at a Heisman Trophy ceremony. And like Chris said, it's the first time we've had someone from offense and defense. And Chase, the first thing I have to ask you is there's got to be some great stories shared between the two of you this season. Give me the best one that you've shared with your QB.
So me and Justin, we had this thing where we always go back and forth. And, it's actually, joking with a guy that's here today, Joe. I might say, if in the middle of the season Joe has more touchdowns than Justin, I'm like, oh, man, he got more touchdowns than you? Like, what's up? Like, what's going on? Or like if somebody had more sacks than me this season, just be like, oh, he's better than you. He has more sacks. So like, we always go back and forth.
Yeah, we always go back and forth.
Yeah,
So.
motivation for each other.
I like it because you essentially are hyping one another up the entire season. Justin, describe what the transition was for you. I mean, 40 touchdowns to 1 interception, that's certainly not easy, but it's also not easy when it's your first season at a university. How did you make that transition?
Really, I just think it was the coaches and my teammates, the help with them. I think my transition, they definitely made it easier. So just kind of talking to them and building those relationships, it definitely made it easier for me.
All right, Chase, tell the truth. You ever touched your QB in practice?
It was one time they got on me too. Coach Jay, he was like, "You can't do that." I remember it was y'all false started, and I came off and remember I pushed you.
Yeah.
But that was about it.
Never forget, never touch your QB. Well, gentlemen, you are dressed impeccably, so one of the best dressed duos that we have here at Heisman. And now Tom with the coach that probably told Chase not to touch his QB.
Exactly, Maria. That's a natural segue. What was the reaction when you saw that false start?
Well, he better stay off the quarterback even the next practices this week, too, because we had a lot of football ahead of us.
First year at Ohio State, every coach wants a great player, 2 great players, but how have they helped shape your season this year?
Well, I think when you look at both of these guys, poise and confidence, what comes to mind. You know, they both have a competitive toughness about them, but it's a quiet toughness. And then there's leadership. And then for both these guys to be here tonight in New York City as teammates here, offense and defense, they both had different journeys. They both gone through different types of adversity, but they made their way through, and just happy to see them here tonight.
In a program steeped in history, Chris, another chapter added here tonight. Thanks, Coach.
Indeed, in the third Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins had a season that in another year might have been also worthy of being a Heisman finalist. Want to salute two special winners. More than 1,000 applications for the Heisman High School Scholarship, but this year's winners set themselves apart by volunteering more than 2,000 hours while in high school. Victoria Orcutt, swimmer and track and field star from Fort Walton Beach High School in Florida. Logan Alvarez, football player out of Miami's Southridge Senior High School in Florida. We salute both of them. Will Wells and the whole team winning band play us out. We'll shift the focus to Joe Burrow, the last ever Heisman finalist, as we continue and move toward the announcement here on Heisman Trophy night in New York City. Now, the sculptor of this beautiful trophy said the Heisman has a feeling. You can feel not only the movement, but the intensity of the piece. Many others have echoed that. Speaking of intensity and movement, Top Rank Boxing brings you 3 fights right after we're done here. Headed by ESPN.com's #2 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Terrence Crawford out of Omaha, Nebraska, 35-0, his last 6 by knockout. Some of the winners are going to be there. During the 85 years of the Heisman, there have been only a handful of winners that played at multiple 4-year colleges. Doc Blanchard won the 45 Heisman after transferring from North Carolina to West Point. World War II got in the middle there. Then you had to go all the way to 2010. Cam Newton, Florida, Blinn College to Auburn. Then the trend really accelerated the last couple of years. Obviously, Baker Mayfield transferring, Kyler Murray transferring to Oklahoma, both won the Heisman Trophy. And this season, 3 of the 4 finalists, Joe Burrow, Justin Fields, and Jalen Hurts, began their careers at one school and then at another. Burrow was actually told by the 2 programs that he prized the most, sorry, you're not quite good enough. So he plays with a chip, an edge, fearless aggression. Joe sweats every detail, has a rare poise that's possible only through meticulous preparation that is self-directed. That sounds a lot like another number 9 from the Midwest who plays just down I-10 from Baton Rouge in New Orleans. And as fate would have it, Drew Brees' home dome is the dream destination on Joe's unlikely odyssey.
Joe was always ready for his opportunity. With a helmet in his hand since before he could talk. He grew up with the game. His dad, Jimmy, was a coach who played at Nebraska. So did Joe's much older brothers, Jamie and Dan. But when the Lincoln legacy produced no scholarship offer, Joe followed a record-crushing career at Athens High by picking the home state Buckeyes. But buried on the Ohio State depth chart, Burrow found his next opportunity on the Bayou, becoming LSU's most important recruit ever. Burrow is the maestro conducting the Tigers' cutting-edge attack and elite playmakers. When rating accuracy, no QB is close. His downfield daggers are deadly, with 19 deep ball touchdowns.
Burrow slings it. He's got it. Touchdown, Tigers!
Pass rush, no problem. Joe's at 73% when pressured, the FBS best. Plus, he navigates nimbly to safety with escape skills and sneaky speed, extending plays and running for 33 first downs.
Burrow at his best against the best. Check out the stats in 4 wins over current top 13 teams. All of them changed up their schemes and the coverages, trying to confuse him. It did not work. Now, making magic for LSU 60 years ago was Billy Cannon. That Halloween night punt return against Ole Miss is one of the Heisman moments ever. Post-Heisman, his journey was not always smooth, but Billy Cannon was a generous soul and was always a beloved hero on the Bayou. Now, Cannon's family composed a letter to Joe. He read it on the plane here to New York City. And the LSU faithful went crazy when they saw that picture tweeted out, Tom.
It's just the latest example. Joe Burrow alongside with his mom, Robin, and his dad, Jimmy. Joe, let's start there. How do you explain the connection between an Ohio kid who's become the favorite son of the Bayou?
Yeah, I think people respect hard work, and that's all I've tried to do is just give 100% every single time I'm out there on the field. And Louisiana has adopted me as one of their own, and it's been incredible for us.
Robin, your husband has had a life steeped and shaped by football. Your two older sons played big-time football. How did all of that experience serve you when Joe needed guidance on his journey?
Well, certainly all of their knowledge of how the process works definitely helped, and the older boys gave a little bit of a different perspective, and Jimmy and I gave our parent perspective and our own guidance, and we're very happy that things have worked out the way that they have.
Jimmy, before this incredible season started, you turned to your son and you made a comment, an incredible comment. First time in 51 years you weren't on a practice field in the summer as a player or a coach. You stopped your career so you could see every moment of your son this season. What's one special moment that perhaps we didn't see?
I think just the different games that he played in, and I was able to be at them. So really every game was special to me. It was kind of scary to retire. I hadn't seen a game at Baton Rouge, so really seeing the first game ever at Baton Rouge was very special. And I didn't want to go through Joe's senior year and not be a part of Joe and LSU's journey. And I think that's what my family wanted, and it ended up being a great decision so far.
I think it's worked out pretty well, Jimmy. Joe, that sacrifice and that decision, what has that meant to you?
It's meant the world, not just to me, but both my brothers and my mom too. I know my mom really wanted my dad to be here last year, but he was coaching and having a great season at Ohio U. But to have him here this year, it's been special.
A special season in every way for everyone connected to LSU. Congratulations to you, Joe, and of course to Robin and to Jimmy. Maria?
Yes, Tom, a special season indeed. Joe Burrow has rewritten the history books as we know him in the SEC. He's dazzled us all season. He's dazzled you, Coach. But what was the moment or the game when you knew he wasn't just elite, but he was Heisman worthy?
You know, two years ago when we beat Georgia, Joe took over. That was his team. And then this year on 3rd down and 17, when he made that play against Texas, I thought we'd go undefeated. I thought we had the best player in the country.
And it's been proven. You've been proven correct. 13-0 now later. Thank you so much for your time, Coach. Congratulations on being here as well.
Go Tigers.
Coach Joe told me that Joe lost his phone the week of the Georgia game. He didn't care. He was so focused. We got a game to win. I don't need my phone. That says it all. Let's welcome back to the stage these 24 Heisman Trophy winners. They'll gather once again and welcome in the winner of the 85th Heisman Trophy as Will Wells plays us out.
Show me your muscles. Yeah, big muscles. Strike a pose for me.
The winner has to give a speech. And not just any speech, but a way to thank all the people who made this evening happen, who believed in them and encouraged them.
Whoa, look at that.
Who taught them how to stand in a pocket, who drove them to practice, who set up with them on those stressful nights before games. So all 4 of these young men sat down at some point in the last few weeks and tried to come up with a list of names to thank. Maybe this is the first time they've taken a moment to consider the magic of this fall.
There's a time, if there's a place, the time is now to find a saving grace. I'm more than fine, I'm here today. The time is now to find a saving grace.
So 4 young men are here tonight, and like the legends beside them once did, they all have a folded piece of paper in the pocket of those new suits.
Thank you with all my heart for giving me this trophy and
to my coaches and my teammates who made it possible for me to receive.
If I could dedicate this trophy to him tonight and give him a couple days of happiness, this is worth everything.
I'd like to thank my family, my mother and my grandparents. I see you right there.
You guys made sacrifice after sacrifice just so I could chase my dreams.
Soon it will be time to stand up, compose themselves, and thank the village of people who gave life to their dreams and carried them to tonight. How are you supposed to put such gratitude into words?
And Wright Thompson beautifully framing the moment that's about to happen here. 24 Heisman winners feel the power of those words and images, and memories come flooding back for them. Here from the 1950s, Paul Hornung. The 1960s, Mike Garrett and Steve Spurrier. The 1970s, Johnny Rodgers, Archie Griffin, Tony Dorsett, and Billy Sims. From the 80s, George Rogers, Marcus Allen, Mike Rozier, Doug Flutie, Tim Brown, and Andre Ware. The 1990s, Ty Detmer, Desmond Howard, Gino Torretta, Eddie George, Danny Werfel, Charles Woodson, and Ricky Williams. From the 2000s, Eric Crouch, Troy Smith, Tim Tebow. And the 2010s, Johnny Manziel. Welcome back, fellas. And now the four finalists who we've been hearing from and about tonight. Look at those four very youthful faces at the top of the screen. They would grow to love football and perhaps dare to dream about a moment like this for themselves. There can be only one winner each year. And now for the historic handoff, please welcome Heisman Trophy trustee Carol Pisano.
Thank you, Chris. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. Without you, the fans, college football and the Heisman Trophy could not be what they are today. I'm honored to be here this evening representing the Heisman Trophy Trust on the occasion of the Heisman Trophy's 85th anniversary and the 150th anniversary of college football. Congratulations to our 2019 Heisman Trophy finalists for their incredible feats on the field this college football season. Thank you for sharing your talents with us each week. We have so enjoyed watching you and following you in this year's Heisman race. A special thank you to all of our Heisman winners for their continued support, and especially thank you to those Heisman winners who are with us tonight to help us applaud the achievements of these outstanding finalists. And now it's time to welcome a new member into our Heisman family. It is my pleasure to announce the 2019 winner and 85th recipient of the Heisman Memorial Trophy is Joe Burrow, Louisiana State University. Congratulations, LSU.
Congrats, brother. Appreciate you. Good, bro. Love you, bro.
So proud of you.
Proud of you, brother.
Congratulations.
Love you. Great job. Well deserved.
Congrats.
Congrats, my boy. Proud of you, boy. Good job. Good job. Proud of you. That's you.
Joe, say hello to your new friend for life. Give Mr. Heisman a lift here.
Thank you.
Whew. No, I think the first thing I want to say is I want to thank my O-line first. Sadiq, Adrian, Ed, Lloyd, D-Lou, Austin, Badara, Thad, our tight end with the chips, for guys like Chase. Those guys have been unbelievable this year, and I couldn't have done it without them. I got so many weapons on the outside: Terrace, Jamar, Justin. I mean, those guys have been unbelievable. All my teammates have supported me, welcomed me with open arms. Kid from Ohio, coming down to the Bayou and welcomed me as brothers, and it's been so awesome. I want to thank the Heisman people for a great weekend. Thank you for allowing me to be here, and as well as my family. And it's an honor to stand on the same stage as all of you guys. I grew up watching most of you, and it's just an honor to be on the same stage, eat dinner with you guys. It's been so awesome, and you've all been so kind to me. My parents, like Tom said, my dad had first time in 51 years that he wasn't a player or a coach, and him retiring this year has been, a dream come true for me and my family. My brother's in the audience, my mom. And I'm just so thankful for LSU and Ohio State, playing at two of the best programs in the country, great coaches both places. It's my journey. I wouldn't have traded it for anything in the world. I think the story of this Heisman Trophy, with me, Justin, Jalen, and Chase, we have 3 transfers who've all had different stories. It's 3 great players, and both of those guys have pushed through adversity. It's awesome hearing their stories and sharing this weekend with them. I tried to leave a legacy of hard work and preparation and loyalty and dedication everywhere I go. And I'm surrounded by such great people that make that so easy. Great strength coaches. Coach Mick is in the audience, my strength coach from Ohio State, and Coach Moffitt is watching from home, and they've made me a great person and a great player, and so much better because of them. Coming from Southeast Ohio, it's a very, very impoverished area, and the poverty rate is almost 2 times the national average, and there's so many people there that don't have a lot. And I'm up here for all those kids in Athens and in Athens County that go home to not a lot of food on the table, hungry after school. You guys can be up here too. I'd like to thank Louisiana, the entire state. Like I said earlier, just a kid from Ohio coming down chasing a dream. And the entire state has welcomed me and my family with open arms and invited us in to be native Louisianans. I've learned to love crawfish and gumbo, and during crawfish season, Coach O makes sure we have pounds and pounds and pounds of crawfish during that year. Coach O. You have no idea what you mean to my family. You know, I didn't play for 3 years. You took a chance on me, not knowing if I could play or not. And I'm forever forever grateful for you. Can you imagine a guy like Coach O giving me the keys to his football program? He just means so much to me and my family. And to LSU, I sure hope they give him a lifetime contract. He deserves it. And then Coach Joe, Coach Steve, Coach Munoz, all here. You know, you guys have helped me through so much, understanding the game, putting so much on my plate that I couldn't ask for a better group of coaches. Help me be successful. So thank you to everyone here. There's so many people that I should thank, and unfortunately I just don't have the time. But those people know what they mean to me and my family, and so when I lift this trophy again, it's for LSU, Ohio State, Southeast Ohio, and all of Louisiana. Thank you.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
Tom.
Great job.
Good job, man. The speech is better than your season.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Maybe that hug says everything. The pauses spoke as loudly as anything else.
Thank you so much.
What did the moment mean, Jimmy?
My dime, bro.
Just to see Joe and his emotion and his sincerity and his appreciation of Coach O and LSU and all his teammates. That just means the world, because he wouldn't be up here without those guys, and it's just awesome to be a part of it.
To sit back, see your son walk up there and handle this moment, what does a mom's pride say?
There are no words. It's amazing. We're so proud of him. We're so thankful to Coach O, Coach E, Coach Joe, all of LSU, all of Ohio State, really, because they all put so much time and energy into Joe's development. And we're so thankful for Joe, his opportunity, and his teammates.
Congratulations to you and the whole family on a spectacular night. Maria?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, Tom. As we take a look at our final votes based on the information provided by Deloitte, Joe Burrow has received a lot of broken records in Heisman voting. For the highest percentage of possible points, Joe Burrow received 93.8%, which breaks the record held by Troy Smith, who received 91.6%.
All right.
Burrow also received the highest percentage of first place votes won. With 90.7% of the first place votes, he breaks the record held by Troy Smith, who received 86.7%. Burrow was named on 95.47% of the total ballots, the highest ever, surpassing Marcus Mariota, who received 95.16%. And Burrow received 1,846 more points than runner-up Jalen Hurts. That's the largest margin of victory in Heisman history. He was also winner of the Nissan Heisman fan vote. Chris?
Maria, thank you. Folks getting to know Joe, thank you so much for your example. Thank you for sharing your heart and your story. And thank to all the finalists for sharing their stories and the example they have set. It's been a tremendous, tremendous evening. Top Rank Boxing is coming up next. This Heisman Trophy, for the first time in 60 years, is headed back to the state of Louisiana. So let's get a bon temps roulé, as they say down there on the bayou. We'll see all four of the finalists of the College Football Playoff, which begins 2 weeks from tonight. York City, 85th Heisman Trophy winner. Once again, we are left with Heisman memories. Thanks for joining us, folks. Happy holidays, safe travel home for those out-of-towners.